into another episode of Just Us Dads. Thank you for tuning in to yet another Dadversation. This is the first one of 2022, guys. Happy New Year. I know we're late. I never know what the cutoff. I don't know. I never know what the cutoff period is. But since it is the first episode, we should wish everyone a happy New Year. George and Chris are both here. What's going on, guys?
Hello.
The cutoff is January 3rd.
Look, I'm willing to push it 2 weeks, but more than that, I think is ridiculous. And even 2 weeks feels sometimes uncomfortable.
It is.
Yeah, no, I tend to keep it a little bit longer. I exaggerate sometimes. Like every person I speak to or every email has the bonne année in it, like Happy New Year. And to the people that I really know well, even if I talk to them in February, it's going to be a Happy New Year for you because we didn't. Yeah. Like years on year, guys. It's 365 days. It's not the first 3 days of January.
Yeah, I understand, but you're wishing the Happy New Year at the beginning of the year. Like
there's people that call me and wish me a happy month every month. So you know what? Right? The Greeks do that, right? It's happy month.
Yeah. Happy
month.
Yeah, we do that.
They announce it.
A happy week when I leave in the morning, Monday or whatever. It's like, have a great week. So have a great day.
Yeah.
You can say whatever you want.
Anyway, we're gonna try and keep this. We're gonna try and keep the episode on a positive note because this. The last year ended. And this new year started. Just on a fucking horrible note. I mean, just back to lockdowns and to curfews and all sorts of bullshit around this whole pandemic thing. So we're gonna try and forget about that. But yeah, let's dive into the holidays, man. How was it despite all that crap that we're living? How did you guys enjoy the holidays?
We did the best we can.
Yeah,
it was all right.
Alone at home.
Loved it. We found a way to make the kids love it. But, we had to cancel our get together.
Yeah, us too. We had to cancel our New Year's plans because a day before our premiere closed down all the restaurants. So there went our plans. It was really uneventful. It was really not exciting. But again, like you're saying, George, I mean, the kids don't really realize it. The kids are going to have fun no matter what. And they were in bed by 11:30 and so were we. And that's how we turned.
Oh, yeah, really?
Yeah, man.
We had a little meaty party. Yes.
Well, that's fun. The kids stayed up the whole time?
The kids stayed up. We got hats. We got the little, what are they called? What are they called?
Noise makers, right?
The noise, yeah.
Yeah, those little paper thingies, yeah.
Those paper thingies.
Yeah.
So I went and got those. So they stayed up to midnight. We FaceTimed both sets of grandparents for a little bit. But
they were up?
Music. Yeah. They were up. Like, you know what? It's what you said, man. They had no idea.
Yeah.
Like, my kids didn't know what a lockdown was. They just knew that Papunya, we're coming home, right?
Yeah.
So we made the best of it. Then we tried, and it was fine.
Yeah, I feel. What are you gonna do? I obviously feel bad for all the restaurants and all the reception halls that they made all those preparations and stuff, and last minute they saw everything just tumble down. But yeah, I don't know, man.
There's so much to say. I feel like there should be a podcast just for that. There's so much to say.
We should, but I don't know. It's the first time of the year. We have a lot of positive things because I think people that are watching the podcast are noticing how much skinnier I am from the other two guys, which can only indicate that I'm probably ahead of our competition.
The needle moved after 6 months of
no, but you know it's crazy. Look, I took some time too, so I was late in this whole thing. But George, you're excited with the water. You're still at the water loss.
I know.
Like, you probably haven't touched one molecule of fat. You know, you're still peeing. You're just peeing out water.
I'm peeing out water. That's what I'm doing. Yeah, no, I decided.
Like Panusi is deep in the fat tissue. Like he's breaking down those lipids, you know?
Yeah.
You're bro. That's what you did.
It's like you took a proper dump.
But it's good. No, man, it's good. It's good. Good work. Keep it up.
Yeah.
You know what? The point is that we all see.
Consistency. Don't take hours off, days off. No. Consistency.
I think that's the trick. It's always been the trick, and I think that's where people fail mostly to kind of find that discipline to tell themselves, okay, no, I won't have that burger or whatever, whatever it is, and it's hard because for big people,
you have to. It's what he said. You set achievable goals, make it the hour, make it the day, make it the week, and so on. And you stick to it consistently, and that's how you do this.
I know this year, and I don't know if I should be saying this on something that's going to remain.
Make sure the record is on.
Yeah, but I'll go ahead and do it anyway because it creates good accountability. But I have a good feeling this year I'm dropping under 200. It's I think it's going to happen.
You could do it.
Yeah, I know it's happening.
Yeah.
It's going to happen next week.
Was it your New Year's resolution?
There was no resolutions. Like I told you, this year it was so
because if it is, it's not happening.
Yeah.
So, rewire it. But
but it's gonna happen. I feel it this year. It's we're gonna drop under 200. But there's no resolutions, man. I've never been big on resolutions. I never,
because they don't work. They don't work.
Yeah. Well, they don't work. I mean, depends on what it is. I mean, if you set goals and those goals are kind of your resolution, but you're adamant about sticking to those goals, then it is going to work.
The problem is making a resolution just because of the date.
Exactly. Because it's 2 years and it's like the quote unquote tradition. We got to make resolutions now. And people are like, okay, I'm going to get healthy or I'm going to be better.
Yeah. That's why it doesn't work.
And they only make resolutions because I have a whole year to do this.
Yeah. Look at Chris. He started losing. We started the thing in August. He started what in October?
Dude, I'm gonna do it the right way.
Start in July.
You know what? You're talking about accountability. Watch this year. I'm at a good place, buddy.
This year is going to be amazing.
I'm at a good place here.
Yeah. So just to remind everyone, because we extended the competition until the end of March, we have some videos that are going to be coming out. We're waiting for our friend Phil to finalize them. There's there's a few things that we need to still fix there, but they're cool little videos. Just a little. just to motivate everyone a little bit and to start the year off right, man, and we're going to keep bringing experts this year. So that's always part of the plan. We have a couple lined up already. And we're going to start the year right. And for all the dads out there that have a little excess weight, whether it's over the holidays or whether it's over the last 25 years of their lives that has been accumulating, it's time to make those changes, man. It's time to
George, you know what's sad?
Yeah.
No one has a little excess weight.
No, there are some people that have a little excess weight. Don't worry about it.
I find that people are either fat, obese, or chiseled.
No. You have you know what you have. No, you know what you have.
Hold on. The word obese, I have a problem with the word. People use the word obese when people are excessively overweight. Obese is a number, is a rate. You're a little. There's obese this level 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Between this body weight body fat percentage, you're obese level 1. This body weight fat percentage, obese level 2, and everything above is obese level 3. I mean all of it. For me, it's
but I mean, if you're 5 pounds overweight, you're 5 pounds obese.
You're not 5 pounds. No, you're not obese. No.
You're not obese in the 5 pounds.
I think it's you're overweight, and then after overweight, you're obese. So
the obesity index.
I don't know what it is. Maybe we can look it up or whatever. But I feel like you're overweight, like that 5, 10, 15 pounds. I don't think you're obese.
No, the obesity index is with your body mass index, which is not a good calculation, but it's your weight versus your height. And after a certain percentage of body fat, you have the levels. But at 10 pounds, you're not considered obese. So the worse obese you are is morbidly obese, which is where all the issues are. And a lot of people are in there. I'm in there. I'm in that category. And then there's different levels of obese. But the problem with that scale, you know what it is? They're trying to bring it down to make people feel better and not worse about being obese.
So you should less negative.
Yeah, that's the problem with that scale. It's they're moving it. It's the standard, the testing standards, where it's it's okay.
Well, eventually the averages have changed, right?
Yeah. So there's too many people. That's what I'm saying. There's too many people in there now. Yeah. And if it's obviously it's a general observation now, I'm saying
I might not look into it. I think you're wrong. I think even the smallest percentages, it's a level of obesity.
But it's like what, like 4 pounds overweight type thing? No.
I'll look into it.
Okay. Yeah. But to get back to what Chris was saying, like there is that middle ground, and there are people, and I'm sure you've met them. They're like, oh man, I gained 5 pounds, man. I'm not good. And you want to like slap him across the face because you need to lose like 65. And they're worried about the 5 that you piss out in an evening.
The guys who need to lose 5 pounds, though, usually they need to lose way more than that. It's 5 pounds so they don't complain about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like the really healthy bodies. First of all, it's like you have to understand, like even the very, very skinny, like guys that have dehydrated, that bodybuild, that's them at their unhealthiest. That's not healthy either. But most of the people that do this and maintain, they look good. Then you have a big portion of the people that are overweight. I'm saying you have very little people that just need 5 pounds to lose.
Right.
I don't know if at least in my circle, maybe it's not like that. And I'm not talking about other countries. I'm talking about like my direct circle. Like, who do you know that if they lose 5 pounds, they're perfect?
It's a good question. Depends what age.
Any age.
Nah, it doesn't work like that.
No, but like
every day further from your 30s.
Like I don't mean chiseled where you have 8 abs, but I'm saying you can separate the pecs. The tits are not hanging. There's nice rounded shoulders. There's not a lot of fat around the waist. There's not a lot of fat on the ass. It's very little people that you could be like, wow, look at how many times.
The only way to be like that is to have never been overweight.
Well, no. We have a friend who was overweight, and over the last let's say 10 years, he's been consistently training, and he looks fantastic. He's not chiseled like you're saying, Chris, but he's good.
Yeah. There is.
He probably is chiseled.
You think so? I don't think so.
Without a shirt on. Yeah, he is.
Well, even if he takes out his shirt, I don't think you'll see much. It's like a fucking rug under there. He probably knows exactly who we're talking about.
I'm pretty sure. Oh, man. Yeah, I think he does marketing.
So yeah, guys, any highlights of 2021 that you want to carry forward into this year?
When 2021 it's not even a book, it's an encyclopedia. Like there's so many volumes. Like
that's true.
In my mind, I've broken 2021 in a lot of things. Man, it's like there's too much. Like there's 7 rabbit holes, right? We could get into 7 of them.
Yeah, there was so many ups and downs, man. In 2021, it was we didn't know what the hell was going on there.
Like so many things that people started thinking about that I never thought people would think like that. The divisiveness, the magnetic and electric environment of everything, the government's pushing the envelope, people, the fear mongering, gaslighting. Like it was a lot of things that, yes, we had seen in the past in history, but you never thought you would bring it here in 2021. You never thought in 2021 we'd be saying these things like that. A lot of unknowns, science, right? Science is split, which means science is split, which it's a good thing. You want people to challenge other ideas. We went from the narrative of just accepting everything we see on TV to like, okay, there's other ways of interpreting data. There's other ways of interpreting ideas. People could disagree when it comes to the big ideas. Like, you know what I mean? 2021 was a lot of that. And at the same time, I think people have become a little more cynical about things. There's a lot of distrust when it comes to governments and media outlets, which is unfortunate as well, because you need somebody to kind of regulate that and be non-biased the way they
should be.
Yeah, but you have a lot of unknowns, so you have a lot of confusion. When people don't know where they're going, when people kind of don't trust, well, you get confusion, and confused people get scared. And then confused people that get scared scare other people too.
Yeah, I just feel that in 2021, and of course this is going to go down a negative path, but it's the reality of the year that just passed. In comparison to 2020, where everyone was pretty much together, everyone was standing side by side. There's this huge wave of solidarity. 2021 kind of shifted everything to the point where people camped themselves in a way of thinking. and defended it. They became like little clusters, right? And that became very dangerous, right? So because then you had like when you have the prime minister coming on and calling the people that aren't vaccinated misogynists or fucking racist and just generalizing.
Yeah, I heard that, but that was a moment of not having clarity and not thinking through.
Which
You know what I mean?
isn't the first time, by the way. It's not the first time he miscommunicates a message, but it does come out the wrong way, right? So you have,
Well, yeah, of course it comes on.
so you have people that aren't vaccinated, which, by the way, they're in their.
No, wait, sorry, George. Let me just say something. I don't think he came out the wrong way. I think you realize how he really thinks because he wasn't able to. He just formulated a feeling.
Yeah,
and he thinks like that.
Yeah,
and if you start thinking like that, it's like, whoa, no. And not every anti-vaxxer is a misogynist and a racist and a sexist. Right. It's like you put all the bad words. Like, you know what? There's a specific type of person who's at the same time an anti-vaxxer, a misogynist, a bigot, a transphobe. No. You can't do that. It doesn't work.
Yeah,
and especially from a prime minister.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I feel that's the unfortunate thing that it created much more division, like you're saying, right? And everyone is kind of in their group, either doubting or trying to make other people enforce the whatever the law or the regulations or whatever. And there's this constant battle, and that has spilled over into families as well, right? I mean, in my family, the people that aren't vaccinated, I mean, we don't hate each other, but there's always these things. Oh man, but you should do this. It's like, fuck, just shut up, man. Leave everyone be and just be careful, right? But I think that's how we progressed in 2021, which is crazy to think that we even got there compared to 2020. I hope 2022 is going to be the end of it.
That's what I said. That was my mindset, man. It was 2021 was a lot of stuff, a lot of information to take in. It'll take years to kind of compile it and know and synthesize the information to know what to do with it. I think a lot of the people are going to be like, whoa. You know what? Let me start thinking of how I think. Let me start thinking of how I get my information. How do I process this stuff? You know what? Maybe I could challenge my beliefs. Maybe I could challenge my ideas. And 2021 was a lot of lies too, from either side. I'm not trying to label anything, but there was a lot of lies, a lot of misinformation. And in 2022, what I decided is like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to believe the lie that 2022 is going to be a better year. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah. You know what? If whether it's a lie or not,
just 2022. That smile on your face. Huh?
That's right. You know what? If I'm going to believe a lie, that's the lie I'm going to believe.
Everybody should try this. Whenever you're in a shitty mood, force yourself to smile. Tell me you don't get better. Tell me your mood doesn't get better. Force yourself to fucking smile. It fucking works.
Yeah. Forced optimism. And you know what? That's what I would wish people on a lot of the texts that went back and forth. It was like, no, it must be. It will be. It needs to be. Like I was using words like that. There's no choice.
No.
But it could be pretty shitty, right?
Oh, man, I hope it isn't. Honestly, I hope.
Look, like the one thing I heard was the way it usually works. The previous 10 years were great. The next 10 years were shitty. So the 90s were great. The early 2000s were shitty. The 2010s were better. So the 2020 should be shittier.
It's cyclical.
I can't do that. I can't do a decade of crap.
No, just not every moment's gonna suck. There'll be more difficulties.
No, but economists have spoken about this principle, George. You're right, and it's the one that you have like good men create good times, good times create weak men. Weak men are going to create weak times. Weak times are going to create strong men. Strong men are going to create good times, and it's very cyclical like that. So right now, I think we're at the point where behind us were a lot of strong, good men. Right. And I mean men like people kind type men.
People kind?
I don't mean, people kind of men.
Thank you, Trudeau.
Right? You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. We're talking about humans. I'm not saying men. I'm not disqualifying women from that statement. But that's what happens. It's very cyclical, man. And you know what? We've had some very, very good times. And you know what? What's coming, it's going to be maybe a little bit harder because people have to become strong again. And that's a whole other issue that we could talk about. That's an interesting one.
It is going to be tough because,
close to 8 billion people in the hands of bad leaders is going to be bad.
It's not only that, George. It's also the fact that The last 2 years, we've all been kind of mixed up into this kind of cocoon where you're extra careful. You're extra careful about going places. You're extra careful about seeing other people, talking to people. Who are you? I mean, we're in this phase where everyone seems to be so concerned about either not catching something or about the other person's intentions, and that's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. Like like on a societal level, it's bad because by nature we're supposed to be interacting with other people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If for me, at least, it hasn't felt natural. The last 2 years, it's been very difficult, honestly, guys. And we've been very careful all around.
Remember shaking people's hands and kissing people hello?
Yeah. Do you think that that's going to come back instantly?
Done.
Let's say,
It's
like,
done.
think about it. Think about, like, I don't know, March or April, or let's say around summertime. They're like, you know what, guys? Look, at this point, pretty much everyone has caught the Omicron variant. This is hopefully, I'm hoping that there's a courageous politician that's going to come out and say, guys, this is the new reality that we're going to have to live with. Let's bring down all the barriers. Let's forget about all the measures in place. Let's just be careful. It's like a new version of a flu. Let's just focus on our elderly that are more vulnerable. I hope that that's the turn we're going to take, because that's what it is. We tested positive, and Chris also, and it's just the flu. It's like a runny nose. You're going to get
You
few
tested
chills.
positive as well?
Yeah. So that's it. I hope that that's going to happen sooner than later. The question is this: how soon after, this whole normalcy thing comes back, are we going to be comfortable enough to like hug each other and kiss each other and like go back to how things were before?
There's going to be different people. It's going to be the ones that are going to jump right into it. So there's some people that never stop, honestly.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
There's the ones that are going to catch up right away.
Yeah.
There's the ones that are going to hesitate. They're going to pick and choose, and then there's the ones that are going to just shut the door, give everybody the finger, and say, "This is
what
living in my apartment forever."
What happens when one kind meets the other kind? Where there's one guy that's the one person that is doubtful about how to do it, and the other guy is like super.
I know the answer to that. I know the answer.
Yeah.
You know what's gonna happen? The people are gonna have consensual forms. I'll sign this. Sign here. Disclaimer. Sign right here. Once you sign it, then we can hug and whatever.
You have it on your phone. Here, put it in electronic signature, please. I'll send it to you right now. Yeah.
Well, that's where sex is gonna end up, guys. It's gonna be like, sign here. We're going to sign here that we're going to first base. I'm gonna try something.
Chappelle had a skit about that. That's so funny.
After midnight, around 1:30 a.m., I might try this. Please say yes.
Honestly, guys, with all the crap happening, I'm so happy that the days that we were going out.
Initial here for oral.
We're laughing, but that's the reality.
No,
guys.
but guys, look, we're married, so obviously I have zero interest in any of that. But I'm so glad that the time that we were going through that phase, there was no social media, there was none of that shit. We were just free to go and pick up and flirt, and everything was acceptable, right? I mean, obviously, we're not talking about rape here, but now it seems as though, fuck, man, you say the wrong thing, the girl's gonna destroy you, like ruin your reputation. She's gonna find you on social media, and it's done. You're cooked.
Yeah. You have to be careful with that stuff.
I can't imagine how it must feel now to be 20 years old and going out clubbing or trying to pick up chicks.
Well, actually, now 2 years, you don't. There's no clubs. You don't go clubbing.
But you know
where you go clubbing. You know where you go clubbing today?
Yeah.
On an airplane. That's where you go clubbing.
That's as close as it gets, huh? Trains are too wide. It doesn't feel the same.
Yeah. You got to board a plane and party.
You're standing up in line, waiting in line for the bathroom on the plane, and this is you're just mingling.
Maybe that's what it's do. This is a new thing. You got to charter a private flight and bring 180 people.
You each have an earbud in your ear. Here, listen to my mix here.
That's how you do it.
That's so.
No, look, man. The humanity has gone through a lot of pandemics, epidemics, a lot of dark stuff, and you know what? It's just that the resilience process is something that not everyone agrees. And you know what? Instead of these things kind of uniting everybody, it's pretty much fucking dividing everybody. That's the problem.
Everybody's afraid.
But it's not the pandemic. You know what I mean? It's like you solve the pandemic or you eradicate it, and then another one's going to come down the line. Humanity is not exempt from disaster. So that's part of life. It's in the equation. It's how you solve it, how fast you solve it, and with the least amount of casualties.
And
The
you know
problem,
what? I think
yeah,
the world, humanity, people, we live at a level of comfort that we don't imagine these kind of problems ever being our problem. So
yeah,
when they
yeah,
hit us, it's like, what? I wasn't ready for that. We don't
yeah,
realize how vulnerable everything really is, or how shitty it could have been. And when it
yeah.
gets a little shittier, we panic.
Yeah, and I find what I noticed a lot in since we're on 2021 kind of synthesis of experiences. I feel like people are pushing their ethics on you. Like everyone has their way that they think the world should be organized and how they feel. And there's no debate or dialogue about if it's the right thing. It's just, I believe this, you should do that. Or I believe this and you should do that. And people are kind of pushing their ethics. And if you don't agree with everything in that list, it's like you're the bad guy.
Yeah.
You're labeled.
That's what sucks.
Yeah.
That's what sucks. And you get nowhere,
Yeah. We've hit like this extreme where it's all or nothing kind of thing.
Yeah. It's like nothing. Yeah. And everything is in the gray, always has, always will. Solutions are in the gray. They're not in the white. They're not in the black. Just like people are half good and they're half bad. So, you know what I mean? It's like, don't look for the good camp. Like, example, what is the good camp? The anti-vax camp or the vax camp? No, it's a spectrum, and there's millions of people in that spectrum. You don't always have to be here. You don't always have to be here. You can be perfectly in the center and make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But the center that makes sense is not heard. Because you know what? Eventually, you're going to have to pick a camp because people judge you when they talk to you. It's like, what is he? Is he an anti-vaxxer or a vaxxer?
But you know what else?
I could be vaccinated. I could be vaccinated and be anti-vax, or I could be vaccinated. I could be vaccinated and be pro-vax, but anti-vax this one.
Yeah.
That's a possibility too, and I'm on that spectrum. You know what I mean?
The other amazing thing is that it's a relatively small portion of the population that is camped on either side, but it's just that they're the loudest, right? People in the middle don't care. They have their lives, they have their things, they're taking care of their kids or whatever, their job, their work, whatever it is.
They have opinions.
They do have opinions, but they don't really express them. They're not those.
It doesn't take over.
They're not those social media, whatever, justice warriors, whatever the fuck they're called. So you don't hear them, right? So that's the other problem. It's that the noise we hear comes from the same group of people, and if you look into it, they're not that many on either side, right? On either side. So
but they're loud. That's what you said. It's the Chihuahua effect. They're very loud. They're very loud, and they have an agenda. They want to, they exist because they do what they do. And this is another concept. Again, 2021 concept. Most people, I realize, not most people. Like you see, you have to be careful what you say. Some people, which could be the loudest, that means they're not most people, but they're from the portion of the loudest, tend to be comfortable with the old solution, right? The old problem, rather than the new solution. So a lot of people, they want to stay in that comfort of like, you know what, I'll deal with the problem because I don't like the new solution. So you guys get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have ideologies that are strong. You have people that are dividing themselves, and governments make decisions that are not very democratic either. Right? Think about it. If you make a decision, let's say we're in a democracy and we have 10 people, and then one person decides that he's the most scared, he's the loudest. Well, if 9 out of 10 people don't think like him democratically, there's nothing we could do for that guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But if one guy decides a certain thing, well, he's protected by his constitutional rights.
Right.
So that's where we're at right now. It's like the most people want to get through the pandemic, and they want to get through it the best way possible, but they just don't know what the best way possible is.
Yeah.
So they have the extremes kind of verbalizing and vocalizing what they think the solution is. Yeah. And the solution is very simple. It's like, if you want to get vaccinated and you're very scared, do it. If you're in the elderly, vulnerable category, don't go out, minimize contact, use distancing, And you know what? Wear 2 masks if you have to. Whether the mask works or not, that's a different story. And don't go out a lot. The young people, let them live their lives because they still need to go produce. The economy still needs to roll. And the government can only give recommendations and suggestions because even the science is kind of uncertain. Right now, the science says that, you know what, it says something today. So the science is correct until it's not correct anymore. That means we're what, January 16th? What statement comes out today could be wrong January 21st.
And we've seen that happen continuously the last 2 years, right? It's evolved, so yeah, it's evolved so much. But that's the other thing. I mean, it's also very discouraging to hear the government say one thing and almost immediately getting discredited by the health experts on the other hand. So it's so long. See, in the beginning, we felt that there was this unity between both where it's like, okay, I'll give you the recommendations because I'm the health professional and the expert. And you as a government, you're going to make the responsible thing and translate that to the public so that we can get through this, right? It seems that all that has collapsed. It's like it's purely political or it's purely based on polls or whatever it is now. I don't understand it. And
that's why certain issues, George, shouldn't be politicized. Certain issues don't belong in the hands of politicians. Yeah. Because if the way I would do it, or the way ideally, you might say, Chris, now you're being utopian, but I'm not being utopian. All I'm saying is that if the politicians came out and said, guys, we're studying this. This is a lot of uncertainty. We have 40% of the scientists that agree here, 60% that are here. All we could do is recommend. What we know is that it moves like this. It acts like this. This is what we know about the virus. We recommend strongly the mask distancing. We recommend you don't come in contact with people. We recommend you update your ventilation systems, but we have no further knowledge. You'll be updated. Yeah. No curfews, no obligatory things, all that stuff when you're uncertain don't lead anywhere. They lead to divisiveness. And when you have things in France where people are starting saying, look, you're not a real citizen anymore because you're not.
Oh, God, dude.
Now you're getting into, because you know what? If I'm not a citizen because of my rights, then I'm not a citizen with my obligations. And if people start thinking I'm not obligated to do anything, pay taxes and be a law-abiding citizen, you have issues. You get anarchy. You get bigger problems. So government should never step in and use draconian measures and authoritarian processes, let's say, when everything is uncertain. Yeah, that's my only problem. Yeah, it's not about the solution.
Yeah. That's where we're at right now. It feels as though they want to force the vaccination to like extremely high rates, when in reality, you have to be conscious of the fact that there's a portion of the population that just won't get vaccinated. So you're never going to reach 100%. In fact,
but they don't have to, George.
I know you don't. But the problem is that it seems as though they're so adamant to reach those high numbers that all the decisions that have been made, at least in the last 2-3 weeks, are decisions made to spite the people that aren't vaccinated. So it's like, well, you know what now? We're going to force the vaccination to the liquor store. We're going to force the vaccination to the drugstore. We're going to force vaccination now to the grocery stores. You want to walk into a store to eat, to get food and fucking survive. You need to show your proof of vaccination. I think
can add something, George, because you said that it's to spite the people. I don't think it's that despite the people. It is that, but that's not where the mechanism started. I think there's that small minority that's very, very afraid, that wants to go on living their life, and they feel like they did all the right things by getting their 3 shots and staying home and sacrificing everything, and they want to be heard. So the politicians are like, how can we make these people heard? The only way we could do that and to respect them is to punish the people that haven't done everything. And that's where that's wrong. Because that is wrong. You know what I mean? Yeah. You're in no position to punish people that decide not to do something that is their right to do or not, especially when you know that vaccines are not going to eradicate COVID. You know the vaccine was there to kind of alleviate the COVID strain and pain on the body. You know that vaccines, or vaccinated or not vaccinated, you can spread the disease as well, right? You know that both people end up in the hospital. So do you vax the people that didn't end up in the hospital? Do you put a health tax? Is that person supposed to pay a little bit more money, like a health tax or a contribution? That's a fine in disguise. Yeah. Just come out and say you're fining them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There you go. So that's what's not right. You know what? Because it's like that's why you cannot impose these drastic measures unless your science tells you it's 100% sure. Pfizer takes responsibility and says, you know what, everyone's going to be okay with this thing.
Yeah, right.
Well, yeah, but if that doesn't happen, why are you putting the responsibility, the accountability on your citizen?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with you. So that's a little the environment that we're in right now. People are confused. Some are actually, a lot of them are frustrated. The government has been making decisions that many argue are nonsensical, and we're just here, kind of observing this whole thing and seeing how everything will unfold. And but anyways.
And I have this good point. This friend of mine, like, I'm not going to mention his name until he's okay with it, but he sent me something. He's like, look, man, Chris, I'm just thinking out loud, and I thought of you. What do you think of this? And he's like, look at this thought process. He's like, the people that went and got vaccinated, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 times, right? Some of them ended up in the hospital too.
Yeah.
Right. So not only did they cost the most, because vaccines don't cost money, right? They don't cost money to the person getting vaccinated, but they cost money to the government.
Yeah.
So that's a big cost. That's a big, like it's a liability and it's an expense when you look at the government sheet, right? So they cost money for all 3 doses. They still cost money because they end up in the hospitals. Shouldn't they pay the health tax? Bro, the unvaccinated guy didn't get the vaccine, so it didn't cost money. He doesn't go anywhere. You know what I mean? I thought it was funny, but then it's like, no, man, there's a point there. If you want to tax the people that put a burden into the system, tax the people that have like gotten 4 vaccines and still ended up in the hospital. My God. Genius. I thought it was genius.
What are you guys doing with the kids now? So schools are starting next week.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
George is excessively happy about that. And I'm not, to be honest with you. And let's just get one thing straight. It was completely frustrating to do the homeschooling. And it was only 1 week, and I only have 1 child on a computer. So I don't know how the other parents with more children did it. I just
how about the teachers who have kids in elementary that they have to
my wife and I
kids and teach their own classes,
so I understand the frustration, but the frustration, but it appears now from what the government says that the schools aren't ready. They're lacking resources, teachers are absent, so they're sending out warnings that, hey, we may be calling out parents to come in and volunteer. Listen, man, I don't want to send my kid to the school if the school isn't ready to have.
George, you're saying this stuff, and you're hit. It's like you're strumming a bad chord in me, man. It's because you know what it is. You know what? It's not your fault. I'm not blaming what you're saying. I'm just saying it's like I think it's time the accountability is back into the politicians. We hire these people, we elect them to solve issues, and it's always back on the people. What do you mean you're going to get volunteers because you have no people? Go get people.
Yeah.
Train people.
Yeah,
do what you have to do.
That's it's the contingency plan. How about a fucking plan to get the air straightened out like 2 years ago so that we can avoid this mess?
That's it. So even 10 years ago, there's a parallel between the cover pages of Journal de Montréal in 10 and 15 years ago with now, and it's the same titles. Our system. So it's like it's like, why don't we make the people that were elected to do the thing more accountable? Think about it, it's always a shift to the person, the citizen or the resident. It's always shifted there. It's how about we do this? And we say, guys, you have 3 years. No. And I'm not a radical. I don't have any radical thinking. I'm just saying an idea. Why don't you guys fix the system? You have 5 years. Here's the budget. You fix it. And if you don't, well, we don't pay you. I'm sorry. You know how you close the restaurant? You know the guy that made $24,000 in expenses and never got the party, so he never got that cash home, and he's still $24,000 in the hole, right? Yeah. How about if you don't fix the problem that you were hired to fix? Well, you don't get paid. How about we don't pay you? How about you cannot go home
like a contractor?
Yeah, it's like, that. Why don't we do that?
Yeah, you take half now. Yeah, take half now, half at the end.
Yeah. Here's your 10%. Start. And if what you say doesn't work, well, obviously you're not going to get paid the last 80.
That's so funny.
Why is it funny?
No. Why
is it funny? I don't get it.
So wait, are you guys comfortable now sending the kids to school?
I am.
George doesn't care. Get the fuck out of the
That's
house.
not true. That's not true. That's not true.
He's making look, everything is about a risk, and everything is about the right and the health balance, right? I think we spoke about it briefly, right? The people that value health so much that they're willing to give up a little bit of the freedom, make certain decisions. The people that value freedom so much that it's fine that if I'll take the risk. I'll take COVID and the risk of whatever it does. I'll find out then, but I'm definitely not giving up this. Make different decisions.
Yeah.
And when you don't know, you're hoping you're right. But there's no one there that's going to tell you you're obligated, or, you should do this or you should do that, or you can't do this or you can't do that. Especially now with the vaccine, right? The vaccine passport, right? Le passeport vaccinal. If both people are spreading it, what does it matter if I have it or not?
Yeah. Yeah.
I understand if only people that were vaccinated didn't spread it. I get that. That would be fair. But if now we know that people both can spread it, whether you're vaccinated or not, and we understand that the vaccine is to protect you, why do we keep that? Or at least why don't why?
Yeah,
because
that's a good point. Yeah.
The scared portion of the population is like, no. Where is this vaccine? Where's this code? I need to see that passport, because they're very scared.
Yeah.
And you know what? Another thing. This might sound a little rude or a little bit.
It's like this false reassurance, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you the guy comes into your restaurant. You're like, okay, if you're not vaccinated, if you don't have your vaccine pass, you can't go in. But you don't know that the person that goes.
Well, because you guys are not pointing something out. It's placed there under the guise that it's there to protect the non-vaccinated person. So if you're not vaccinated and you don't have your vaccine code, you're at a higher risk. So stay away.
Right.
Yeah, I get that. But it's a weak argument from the government side.
I know, but it's not that they're trying to protect vaccinated people. They're saying that they're doing these measures to protect these unvaccinated people. It's not the same thing.
No, because we're at the point now where we want to protect the vaccinated.
No one's denying that the vaccine. No. Well, yeah, sort of.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah, sort of.
We know
that's where it is right now.
Yeah, that's the logic. So
I'm just curious.
They know that vaccinated people spread it just as well. It's just about avoiding non-vaccinated people from catching it to prevent from them suffering and all that.
I'm just curious to see if they're going to call my wife to go volunteer in one of those classrooms.
She already volunteered. I think she put your name on the list as well.
No, I'm not on the list. No, because
if I remember correctly, she does that a lot.
She's volunteering. She was volunteering at the library. She was going every Tuesday, I believe. So she's on the list of the school. So I'm imagining that maybe they'll have her, on the list there. All right, come and sit in the grade fives. It's crazy. We're gonna do this progressively. I think this week we're gonna send Emma to school, but we're gonna pick her up for lunch. Because technically during school they're supposed to all wear masks and all that stuff. They're in their desks or whatever. So maybe I won't have her around other kids eating and fucking spitting on each other for the week there, and then we'll see how it's gonna go the following week. We'll try that. I don't know.
You try whatever you think is right for you and your family, man.
Yeah.
That's what that's what the government should recommend. They don't even need a press conference. We don't need to see anybody's face. It's a black screen with, guys, be careful, do what you got to do, think of others, think of yourself, period.
Oh, by the way, I thought about you guys. Because they made an announcement in the city of Montreal where they closed up a soccer stadium to house the homeless. Is that the one your kid's school? That's the one?
Yeah. So they're gonna go to Claude Robillard now.
Oh, they're gonna go play there. Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. No.
I was wondering what was gonna happen if they found a replacement, like another solution.
The other thing,
stop practicing soccer.
No, they're gonna find solutions. And the other thing is, like, nobody can expect to go through this without being inconvenienced. Yeah. Everyone's gonna be inconvenienced, and it's part of it. And you should expect. But you don't like it, but you should expect to be inconvenienced because you're trying to figure out and do the best you can. So no, these things are not problems for me. Like, relocating and cutting a day here or whatever. It's just, look, we spoke about it. We gave our 2 cents about it. It's like people could do whatever they want to do, but just be prepared. Be prepared that next elections, people that follow this stuff, are gonna trying to seek out a more libertarian kind of government. And when I mean libertarian, I don't mean liberal. I mean libertarian. I mean less government intervention in people's lives. So there is parties out there. You could go find people that kind of believe in that philosophy.
I think there's going to be a small little wave there, but
there's going to be a little bit of people are going to be like, whoa, now, it's like, government is there to protect.
I still think it's going to be a little insignificant, that support to make any real change, like on a level. But you're right. I do see that that trend as well.
There's going to be a little bit of that, because it's like we're talking about. The other thing is we're talking about how this government handled the situation. And I've said this in a previous podcast, where you can give credit when things go well and you cannot blame when things go bad, because it's out of their hands. No government, no politician knows how to do it. Either they did it well and it was circumstantial with some luck and some better measures, or it was horrible, detrimental, and it was out of their control as well. So there's an arbitrary element to it. So you cannot praise or discredit, but you could praise and discredit what they did towards you, the citizen, the liberties, the freedoms, right? So it's like, I think whether it was a liberal or a conservative government, they would have done the same thing, because they don't want to be, oh man, during your reign, this many people died. They think they think in boxes.
Yeah.
They're not the big thinkers that think of everything.
Think of re-election.
Guys, did you, just on topic now, during the holidays there, did you guys go outside at all? Did you do any outdoor activities? Because I'll be honest with you, we did a little bit, but
like sledding, you mean?
Anything, yeah. We spent a fucking shitload of amount of time in our bed watching movies. Honestly, I don't feel particularly proud of that one.
Doritos and the Lay's, chip crumbs everywhere.
No. But I don't know. I remember being a kid and spending the Christmas holidays like almost every day outdoors. And my girls didn't, and I don't know if it's me that didn't encourage them to do it more than they should have. But like I'd love to find excuses and say like it's been ridiculously cold and I didn't want them outside. But at the same time, who cares? Nothing stopped us.
Hold on, they wanted to go out and you didn't let them?
No. I'm saying I would love to use that as an excuse and say, well, that's why they didn't go. But it's not.
Oh wait, when they play outside, you have to be there.
Not anymore. With the little one a bit, still. But if she's with the old one, there's no problem. But in general, we never felt stressed over here because we have the park next door. It's a dead, like there's not a lot of circulation.
May I leave them out there for hours?
Batteries are getting weak, boys.
I take a glimpse every so often. My kids play outside because they have the neighbor kids across and they go from yard to yard. And
that's good.
I built them a little mountain with the snow and they use it and shit.
Chris, they go outside at all?
Us, we had them play outside a lot. Yeah, we would watch them from outside. So we have a backyard, and they made snowmen and they fought in castles and stuff. But what we picked up a lot was cooking and baking altogether.
Oh, that's fun.
So we would find a recipe, see it, give our opinions. Okay, let's change this. Too much sugar. We should add more chocolate chip. We should remove this. And then we baked cookies, muffins. Always more.
Always more.
Yeah. So we did a lot of baking, a lot of cooking. We recorded some videos. Yeah.
That's fun.
So we did that. Yeah. Because we're in, right? We're inside. But yeah, they did go outside, but not too much.
Yeah, I feel bad like they didn't take advantage of the snow more. But anyways, whatever. I mean, winter isn't over. But
no, man.
Yeah, no, we
send them out now.
Yeah, get out. Guys, it's really cold. What the fuck is that?
Better.
We need the sun vitamins, guys. Like people are looking pale. People are looking pale. They're losing their color.
I saw my doctor. She's like, you should take vitamin D.
Everyone, man. Everyone's pale. At least 3 shades of like white. Like everybody went 3 shades of white up. Yeah.
Oh God.
That's funny because Alex said that my hands are not as dark as they used to be.
Who said that?
This morning, my son.
There you go, man. It's everyone. Like there's people, bunch of ghosts running around in the house.
My hands have cracked everywhere. They're so dry. It's not even funny.
These are real dad problems right here.
Yeah.
Low vitamin D and cracked skin.
Or paper cuts. I got this paper cut right here.
And then the ones that people don't talk about, like hemorrhoids.
Oh man.
All right, boys. Battery's low too.
All right, guys,
Battery's
Moving along here.
we're gonna end it for this one. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a great year. There's a lot of crap happening. I know it's very negative and shit, but
Believe the lie.
be hopeful like we are, and believe that 2022 is the end of it. And yeah, hopefully this summer we'll be traveling, and I don't know, it'll be a whole new year, a whole new reality. Thank you, everyone. Take care and have a great year. Ciao.
Let's get into our skinny clothes.
Then when Les boys.